Hi folks, this is beginning of part G. Let me, before we get started, let me do a layout and walk you through what we currently have right now with it. So what I have right now on the screen before we get started, everything up to this point before we start to develop the prototype to it, I'd like to have three artboard. The first one is called loading, which is this one right here. It has what we've been working on is the loading part with it. The second one that we copy and paste over, and we bring in some components to, and I show you how to do that as we transition to this thing with it. The key thing is I want to point out is that well, let me walk through what artboard you should have. The second one is the login. This is the login one with it. And the next one, this one is called the sign up with it as well. So this one, as you go through this one, make sure you, as you can see, this is the login one with it. And the login one that we're going to actually go in, we're going to actually connect each. So before we get started, make sure you have what I have, very similar to what I have right here. Let me zoom out. This is all on the learning page right now with it. Let me do Control minus here so we can zoom out. You can see where this all fits in with your other designs content, the asset files that I gave you. And we're working on the side over here with it as well. So that's what I want to point out is that. Let's zoom back in. I'm going to do a Control plus. And at this point right now, as you know, this is where the user experience is. You notice how I lay this out with us when we do the prototype, working from the left to the right in Figma with it. And the left-hand side is what's the loading the screen is. So the next step is the connection from the boba to the login, or the boba to the loading screen to the login with it. So there's kind of like a fork in the road. You can do the sign up, you could do either the sign up or the login name with it. The key thing is I want to point out is that when you do this, make sure you group the password and this I right here. You see this little I, this hidden I right here. Make sure it's grouped with your I as well with it. So I have that as a group. This is the sign up one with it. Okay, so make sure you group them. And this other one is where the password, same one that you can actually group this one and this one together with it as well. So so the first thing is I want to point out is the prototype from the boba loading screen to the sign up with as well. And let's see what that looks like with it. So if you click on prototype, let me start with this one right here. Click on the loading screen and click on prototype, the prototype tab with this. And you're going to actually click from the Hey, before we get to moving on to the prototyping with it, let me talk to you about, before we get started, just the baseline for this. This is what you should need to have by now with it. A loading screen, the login screen, and a follow-up with it. And all this happens on your learning page with it. So 3 artboard that you need to have with it. Let me zoom out and see just to give you a picture of the learning page. As a big picture, you have some of these asset files on the left hand side, and we're zooming in, we're building this on the side with it as well. So you get the loading is where the app first loaded, and then the login screen, and then you have the sign up screen with it. So you should have these components all built up right now with it, like a certain layout like this with it. So right now, I'm like I said, the prototype component, it's your choice of whatever iPhones you have. So the current flavor that this particular Figma has these are the options that you can have. And it goes, of course, the latest one is the iPhone 15. Hasn't been released yet, but I think it is released with it by when I did this video with it. So it's out right now with it. I think it's the titanium cover with it. But anyways, I'm just using this as an iPhone. It doesn't matter if Android or iPhone, doesn't really matter. It's an app. That's what we're building, is the prototype with it. I just picked 13. Mini is a small one with it, a regular screen with it. So once you are looking with this right now, we need to have a flow of the connection of the interface that connects to with it. So we're going to start with the boba. Click on the load for me, the load screen. If you click on the word load up here, it's going to select everything in that with it. And you hover over it, there's a little plus sign over here. And there's a, I would normally have, because most time when you log in, loading in, I would normally like to go to the login screen. I sign up one time with it, and I don't go to the sign up page every time. All right, so this is where user experience comes in with it, is you want to take them, the concept is like you're building a web page, right? It's the same thing. You want to have less than 3 clicks. Make it easy, the less the better with it. So I always like to take them directly to the login screen with it. All right, and once they're at the login screen with it, I want to make it very clear when you make this transition with it. When you click on it, so when you click on, make sure you click on the loading text on the top. That selects the whole artboard with it, and you come to the right. Make sure you go to the prototype and find what says interaction, and you see the plus sign over here. And then you, instead of drag, you're not on there, do a pull down. And I'd like for you to select after delay. So click on after delay. You're going to actually, it's defaulted to 800 milliseconds. Let's do 3000, which is about 3 seconds ms with it. And after that, you can actually tell it to go to navigate to, and it will tell you where do you want to go to. Is this navigate to? Is you want to go to the login screen right now with it. All right. So after delay, it loads to this right here. Now, between this, let's say they're at the login screen right now. You notice this is the login screen. Well, let's say if they tap on the sign up and they haven't never done the sign up before with it, again, you would actually do the sign up interaction with it, and you would actually have them on tap. They could tap on the sign up with it, right? And that takes them to where is you want to navigate to the sign up screen right here. So this takes from here to here, and vice versa. Once they sign up with it, they click on the login with it, and you want to take them back to the login screen. So I click on the login this time, and then I click on tap with it, navigate to, and I want to have it pulled down to back to login. So this little button right here should toggle between back and forth with it. Even when I click on the login screen right now, this allows you to go back and forth between the two with it. All right, so that's very important for you to actually demo that, to show the flow work with it. Now, there are, you can so-called say like going from the loading screen and take everything to the login, the sign up with it. I personally, like I said, sign up only happens once. So I like to go from the loading to the login. So between the two, this is more of a default common than the sign up with it as well. Does that make sense? So we're going to take this point on. The next step is when they click on the email, it should pop up the keyboard. When they click on the keyboard, the password, it should pop up the password. So let me prototype this right now for you to see. Click on the play.